Yemo obi bia kwa ba de ba smart Ghana update so we news update foforo kra na de ba beso mu. Abusua no krese Alan Kojo Chematin ni mudro no enuru onabo Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong. Eno nti na NPP fo enhu faso bia ewo so se omosa de Alan Kojo Chematin ebeba back na. Abusua message se wodo comment ebeto comment section na se wonom. Esan se debate kese ekoso ne se senke yobi ti se onabo Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong na twe ne ho e free NPP party nim ko ye dia. Omuchiremu a kebe dangerous pa e dia ma NPP. Endinka no na NPP fo ayo omadwen se nkombe approachi akwa na chew ene nakasa amanaba nanso so omoso de ne mu duro no etoto obi te se Alan Kojo Chematin a otwen ne ho no dia enuru sa enti no ehun hia se omone ne kwa akokasa esanse omhu ni se with or without Alan Kojo Chematin ayade se NPP fo ebewie ni nano na kame akoye se ebi nso so ene omonya adwen esanse omhu ni se vote die 1% kra anase 1 vote kra ehuhia enti ebre ya dru mu ene ekame akoye se ne esisi e wo South Africa ene nkrunkru bi a sise single vote hu kra ehia no ebe ya komone Alan Kojo Chematin yenko kasa emra back enso so debate ekoso no echiemu a Alan Kojo Chematin emudru no enti se onabo Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong a esese NPP fo eye omadwen se omokwa akofa naba nemum ke obi ti se Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong a eno ena nkebe ha NPP party no abusua fa comment to comment section na se ho yentie nsemo a yekoso emra.
It is, in all fairness, you cannot compare Alan Chematin to the businessman Kennedy Agyapong and I could make Alan move here. That would have been quite a dangerous move for the NPP. Honestly, in all honesty, if Ken had moved away the way Alan moved there, and everybody or anybody who will listen to you who agrees that definitely NPP must approach Ken and then get him on board. And that's
but you know, as we speak,
but
now,
Alan wait.
No, but Ken wait. Do you see Ken involvement?
Even though he's not visibly involved, but they can have some respite because the man is not also visibly out there, you know, campaigning or scattering.
Oh, okay.
He's at peace in his house. And all the microphone in there, and I was a boom speech, and never always going to but I say, but he's diplomatic enough, he's self-respecting enough, he's in his corner enjoying his peace. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even want to get involved when some of his utterances are not password, but he's not scattering. He's not out there fingering the party or even trying to sell the bad news about the party. But this is a complete opposite. But Mina Mekacho say, fat last resort, if anything, data, anything, then the last resort, presidential candidacy results or Munya free or more party elections or say, right now, Kennedy Agyapong and award the mental to destroy the NPP if he wanted to. But he chose to stay. So far, he I resign from the party. The fact that he's not involved does not mean that he might not be helping in one way or the other. Who knows? Maybe getting to because he's crown head down for campaign calendar May when he had them be now is the campaign season. And as one this year, as about to so because previous years, if you can say especially from 2008 coming, June. Now by 2008, by this time, digital billboard were already in the system. But these days, you hardly see anybody trying to, go all out as campaigning. Getting to the latter part, we see Ken on board. But if Ken had done what Alan is doing, NPP will be in tatters. But I mean, it is, in all fairness, you cannot compare Alan Chematin to Jacob Zuma.
Okay.
Jacob Zuma is a former president. He had been on a poster campaign across the country, won and ruled for years. And
we are talking about the principle.
Yes.
We are not talking about the value. We are trying to compare the value of Alan Chematin as against
Jacob
Zuma.
Yeah.
But we are looking at the principle. So Jacob Zuma was able to mass by 15% of the vote.
Yeah.
More KwaZulu Natal. Obinim say ANC stronghold.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't allow, even though the magnitude, if you compare the Alan to say Zuma maybe the disparity might be huge because of Zuma where is also coming from.
Yeah.
But the point is, why would you allow Alan to even get 2? or 3%.
Well, whatever percent he gets
exactly.
is from the NPP.
It's from you.
Yes, true. I admit.
So it's a principle.
Yeah.
And it's not the value and the numbers.
Yeah.
Because in terms of numbers, Zuma will mobilize more numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. But point is, why would you want Honorable Alan Shatta to get, say, 5% of your vote in Ashanti?
Yeah. It's a clever question. And when we say NPP will not run to happen, but it's already happening. Because there's truly a need for reconciliation. After the elections, or more presidential elections, there hasn't been much talk about it. Alan is going around doing his business as a presidential candidate. But this is it, Kwame. Sometimes, Kwame so manako. Ebi ana yi scenarios me sound to day. Our referee in some be a be a for so me for all you know, there was a moment that one wanted to go and then some people came in and put them together. We see what God has put together, let no man put asunder. The inverse is this: what God has put asunder, let no man put together. It's also there.
But how will you know?
What they know. In this case, Kwame, me time NPP here unfair to Alan Shatta. He went on his own. And if he's coming, he will not come say, oh, my body Martin mini. He will come with conditions. Was the party prepared to accept the conditions?
Everybody, it's the same. South Africa conditions, and as the idea. And I do 2% in the brewery. Kwame, can say condition over free one. About 2% gone over the brewery. It didn't come 2% in the Quakra. Maybe 2% in the Qua also win.
People will not lose by 2%.
No, I'm not saying that. The last 2012 elections, the difference was only 43,000.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes. 43,000.
Nominal. Yes. Vote.
Yes.
And that nominal vote.
Yeah.
So here in our politics, a percentage makes a huge difference.
Say, as we say, be a former president Kofi. And was he Binti. Party no one in a Tintuntai, a Tunquantaya Pai, or Stetea party in Ashanti region, because we know say President Kofi will not be able, it's not viable to stand for president again.
Okay.
And what 10 and was what MPs bear 10 President Kofi bet more than 20%. It's a bigger fish compared to Alan. And the game
and no kind of yes, but Ampa Ebia Alan will not get the anticipated voter Ebia open. But my point is, why would you want to allow him to get even 0.2?
Finally,
so let it. Is it NPP fault?
Was my man Fanaza, Mr. I'm go to do me, but yeah, who hear people for now? No, Mr.
Is this the NPP fault? Alan Shatta Echo Independent. And NPP for and now say Alan Shatta is doing something to get back to the party and a party no so any ready so be accepting because Honorable Alan Shatta Chebia no so form alliance but free other political parties no more share or no more boom woman so person more rescue the country nti ebia no so woni focus ti ebia enquire the fault of the new patriotic party and now all making efforts to get Alan Shatta back to the party. But Honorable Alan Shatta so I and Adrian said now we need a new face now. When the message or day banwa a new face and was a Ghana for was it here political parties. So I begged him for new patriotic party to convince Alan Shatta to come back to the party. Ebra what the kind I'm Ghana for who says he say political parties no na ekuye e Ghana because of the political parties. Yes, it is no for Mr. Alliance no next or boom now the movement in a bar independent candidate and no need the way to go no bit me aboy. So I don't know say new patriotic party I don't know so say in a relationship obi bit me afumo in a relationship how to say nka okwa but what be sigunya no matter asema asi ya ka asem no asofo timi bam as abusianfo atimi bom me sesi asam about samba fee
and it we see
okay esi okay so baby na oba no sisa na ma okono all focus but yet trans here din come out in the condition e buy nasfo no ye kan wie no obi ba no so otiase am almost san etnas. If you look at the illustration Kosi Pratt admire about President Kofi, see, if you look at ideology, the CPP ideology is at par with NPP ideology.
They are mortal enemies. They are supposed to be enemies.
Okay. And so there came a time President Kofi approached the CPP for no. I can't say. Yes, someone, Mama Kayo.
That I'm going to too late is all.
Necessary, you call a friend runoff.
Yeah.
Mama Kayo, I come by only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Mama Kayo, near to NDC4, and sure. And then Kosi Pratt was saying that, now, more than any India. Bonsam ne trouble for the and you're possible. Anti Yababa condition. Okay, our condition. According to Kosi Pratt, President Kofi any conditions, but Obujitu, and they sat down.
He played them.
Whatever. But they discuss. No matter the differences, the bottom line, yes, President Kofi can say, never makuchiri na. A chance Mupa Ghana ye. Yansun ye Ghana ye, and this is sanity. Ebi akwa amonam so ampasa won yawo de no and e different from agi but in I say ye pagana ye they sat down and they campaigned against the NDC and they won elections
and they gave the CPP flag bearer position in their government.
Exactly.
Professor Hagen became a cultural minister of
so baby Adria ye ka say it is never too late for because one hour abaimu Una say Alanjamati Alama Alanjamati one winning 2024 elections.
He has nothing to lose.
Obiani about to say we'll lose elections now because
he's not tipped to win anyway.
How? And he and young wapi but NPP elusua and wapa. Okay. And you and as a utana.
But the answer questions are raising. Say how ready is Allah himself to even want to come back?
Until you approach. How would you know? Until you approach, how would you know?
For all you know, the reason why they have not approached, maybe the NPP may have done their surveys and questionnaires and opinion polls and have some figures such as say Alan Timu 5%
and no one ANC.
ANC, they are members of parliament. We are talking about members of parliament. And this election, we will decide what is the compatibility nipa na omoto abama no omu nyina ba beto abama
but principles and basic principles okay people voted almost system no parliamentary then sanity but the point is voting first no na ANC parliamentarians near trouble at the moment and ANC parliamentarians yantraba no amomo and yantraba ma ANC case closed. If you go to India the India Hindi National Party now
the prime minister
sa amu MPs and when say opposition no they are likely to double their parliamentary seats as they say Modi party no and you like they say on no party majority in parliament. That's what we are talking about here.
And no doubt but when you say so Kwame, if for any reason and for whatever outcome NPP to me approach diplomatically Alan Jitum na Alan Miki another U-turn so over NPP, do you consider the people who followed him to his movement? Consider the new coalitions he has made. Consider his utterances since he left the NPP. One finger almost said back corruption at the entire Alan Kasema and Yabrofo and Ye Bonsam and Ye Bonibia Yedi NPP NDC and Magana unfortunately, also no said also can or we are because a self-focused cancer movement. What you know, it's not really about parliamentarians are coming on one or pass with the president. Or the president we are. The question is this: Constitution mandates him to take about 60% of his ministers from parliament. he didn't say, oh, I'm coming to push in my own MPs. Was say when we are or better be a friend NPP, better friend NDC. Some now also more corrupt or more say or mine. One more MPs now start Kofi and that be form of government. What really? Did you pan about this?
You see,
NPP USA
I abranti numia abui or say yatra akumati o kase o say oni na bi mu a ye be shada ye nim says ade no ye ninyi ho nanso okoya na ya frɛ bombastic ne so meche ebia the NPP omuhu the NT say they have to go back to Alan to call back Alan say bia Alan mra party no ebia omo aye omo research they know say baby a omo ne nam no they can win the elections with or without Alan. Baby omodu because as me said the work kind started no na microphone him so grow then at the party no more berries because this is not the first time na ebia yeti bibi say free on our lunch matin but ababe drew say ono the movement by they say what na say movement no say there be afraid other political parties ama other movements ahodo me bin mukura from the party ababe for me
Kwame, you don't expect Honorable Alan Shabati to just sit down and say he will not work.
But until you Alan Shabati so you sure pass you win this election with Kofi waka omo
Ogusu winning.
The fact that what catches on NPP as I all catches say wa fail o baby
assess we review of our elections scientifically it is difficult for you to say there's a third force beer which means winning this 2024 elections we are basis okay so say apart from miracle we be at BC only but they can say a paper at home who say
highly unlikely miracle
say from 1992 you were entrenched loyalists of the NDC bear 42%. It doesn't matter whoever leads the NDC. They don't even know they are members of parliament. Nothing. They go there and go and vote for the party. There are about 43% of entrenched loyalists of NPP. Phobia. So relegation of our so it is difficult for you to convince me say we 40 so 20% no everything me transform us and I call say obenya 50 plus 1% on paper. Miracles do happen. Okay,
but not in elections.
And a very difficult say Obi because as Alan when okay. Yes, or form a coalition. But coalition with who? And what have been their impact so far in political history? Those people so suppose it's Odike, Unya, Akpalu, Unya, sister, Ekononko, Masufoni Akawa, Ukomu Dina Kra, Ebom Krana. But my point is this: why would you want them to even have the 5%?
But you can stop them.
Let's refresh our mind with statement and I call it a living statement from Kwesi Pratt Jr.
Ufo biti se Nana Adudankwa Akufo-Addo. Yeka Ghana hapa a lawyer for kuku dampa. That's why money di anka ho na tse washa dapa na woye. Oka ho bi. Uhwe political experience. Masa anye ye kura 1979 People's Movement for Freedom and Justice. I'm saying no this secretary. After that, Obeye campaign manager for Professor Edubuahin. Why presidential candidate Ibrahim first only could see a kind and or compressor and so on. And so not experience kakra. Yekwa Alliance for Change. Yekwa find a spokesperson. Ye Juma Ghana with people like Obinim and so on for some time. That's what that's our political experience. I don't see that political experience reflected in the handling of the crisis in the New Patriotic Party today. Master, forget is Oman Pedinkuvo. So we had the history of the Dankwa Buzia tradition. 1960 na Omudin Kunim, our Batu, by 1972 near Tuogu. But even 1979 Kunim, Diano Krani, a banning CPP answer. And in all honesty, former President Kufuor ended the first Dankwa Buzia leader got to me a winning election without any doubt. Twice! Master, so we have former President Kufuor, the first Dankwa Buzia leader who winning elections in 6 regions. Have you seen that? All I'm telling you. Very effective campaigner. Or a team builder. Well, wouldn't you have been called Betrinaba? Now, who Brasini against Betrinaba? Extraordinary politician. 2000 elections, we have second round. No, be a second round. It depends on the minority parties in Kitikitino. Yeah. The officer and President Kufuor only Jacobeche Bilante and a buy. Say, oh, here the support of the CPP. Now, my friend, Dr. Gamal Nasa, University of Ghana, our friend. NPP for the Adom and Nunkoya Alliance. Yeah, socialism, and so on. If you had a dream one, you say, okay. You have conditions for the alliance. If you co-meeting, and a President Kufuor Kasawe, and I'm saying, Master, you better be more alliance, but on condition. Also, condition, let me start here. Improvement in access to education, healthcare, and so on. Make it career. Also, when you say, I was moving to Kreta, so I'm moving. Hey, you before Adom for science secretary, and Dr. Professor Bubakar Hassan, and be a chairman, so I'm going to share them. Master, 6 pages agreement. The man was Jacobeche Bilante. Jake, are you satisfied? Jake says yes. Was a sign. Then a sign. A new member President Kufuor maybe no. Of course, when the agreement was about sign, you're supporting our winning. Master, when the agreement was also assigned, CPP now got were winning. That is why he became so strong.
Exactly my point. You have a point, Kwabe. You have a point, and it's commendable that you are showing this concern about the ruling government and their posture now. But maybe I could have added my voice to yours if, say, the businessman, Agyapong, and I could make a move here. That would have been quite a dangerous move for the NPP. Honestly, in all honesty, if Ken had moved away the way Alan moved her, and everybody or anybody who will listen to you who agrees that definitely NPP must approach Ken and then get him on board. And that's our
but you know, as we speak
but
now,
Alan wait.
No, but see how Ken wait.